So up to this point, we've seen that the human ability to create and utilize complex information ecosystems that have tremendous amounts of information has actually created problems. The first problem is that human beings now have potentially access to so much information that finding the right bit of information in that sea of collected and available data is as difficult as finding it in the real world in many cases. And so what we'll see in the last module of this lecture is that human beings have evolved strategies for dealing with this information superabundance in the contemporary information ecosystems, particularly with the internet. Success has also created another problem. And this problem, again, a problem that occurs in nature and the animal world as well. So in biology, in evolution, when a creature develops a successful strategy, then what oftentimes happens is there's a counter strategy that evolves or an exploitive strategy that evolves. So the development of very accurate color vision, for instance, the ability to see with great detail and color the visual field, that had a tremendous impact for creatures that, for instance, are predators. To counter that, the evolution of camouflage, of mechanisms for hiding scent, and one's shape in the environment, these things evolved to try and counteract the advantages that predators with very good vision gained. The strategy that we're going to look at is an exploitive strategy, the exploitive strategy of the common cuckoo. The common cuckoo is what they call an obligate brood parasite. It takes advantage of this successful strategy that most birds have of laying eggs in nests and then taking care of them. It instead will lay its own egg in another bird's nest, and the cuckoo will then take over that nest, in essence, get rid of the original bird's eggs or chicks and get raised by those birds instead of the eggs or chicks that those birds laid.
Just next door, in an even smaller nest, the female reed warbler incubates its 4 eggs. One of the brood is starting to hatch. However, it is not the young reed warbler. 2 weeks ago, a female cuckoo, unseen by the reed warbler, dropped her egg into this nest. Now the young cuckoo hatches. As the first of the brood, the reed warbler did not notice the trick, and now feeds the young as if it were its own. The young cuckoo needs to throw the other eggs out of the nest. If it doesn't do this, then the parents will not be able to feed all the nestlings. But the first attempts are not successful. The cuckoo is still too weak. It tries again. It must push the egg above the edge of the nest. It is a big effort. The determination of the weak cuckoo nestling to get rid of the competition is amazing to see. After a few hours, it has another go. This time, there's some success. The first egg landed in the water. When it throws out the second egg, the cuckoo almost follows it out of the nest itself. Now for the last one. Alone at last. The ever-open, bright red beak and the constant peeping from the cuckoo prompts the reed warblers to bring it food without a break. Now all the insects and spiders end up in its beak. With such intensive feeding, the young cuckoo reaches its adult size in just 2 weeks. It is so large that when it sits on the nest it must hold tight so it doesn't fall off. In a strong wind, the nest may even break apart under its weight. Although the cuckoo is by now much bigger than the reed warblers, they still treat it as if it's one of their own nestlings. Even after it has left the nest, they will still feed it. At the end of August, the young cuckoo will start its lonely journey to Africa. It will return next spring, maybe even to the same reed bed, and try to toss an egg into a reed warbler's nest.